Getting sued over Netflix's Depp versus Heard. Ooh, things are gonna get spicy. With Popcorn Planet actually hiring a lawyer and going after them for stealing content. Meanwhile, Netflix is still hitting content. This is a newer one by me. You can see that they claim that. Yeah, this kind of stuff is getting them sued. You and I, we're gonna talk about that today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. Alright, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Man, getting sued over the Netflix documentary. This stuff is getting fun. So in front of you, you can see the initial request to use footage from Popcorn Planet. Well, Popcorn Planet did not give permission. A lot of people didn't do that, but you know what? They decided to use it anyway. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, and this is where you really get into your lawsuit categories here, you have Netflix and you have Channel 4 claiming footage from channels that they didn't make, that they have no ownership to whatsoever. Even if people gave permission, they still wouldn't have ownership to. Yeah, that's when you get to your getting sued parts. Now, Popcorn Planet's Andy Signor actually put up a campaign about this. I think it explains it very well. And when you're looking at that Netflix Channel 4 documentary, I mean, you have to think about it as a propaganda tool. One that very much, it has the stamp of AH's PR all over it. It's the biggest PR I've ever seen. And it's because it is about $1 billion plus industry. So check this out here. Legal Exploratory Fund against Depp versus Heard documentary. Now, this has been up less than a day. You can see exactly where it is in case you want to donate, but this is exactly what it says. How you can help. A recent documentary about the Depp versus Heard trial was released globally on Channel 4 in the UK and Netflix. It was ranked as a #1 TV series on Netflix the week of its release. Actually, it stayed in #1 position multiple weeks. Didn't have a lot of competition. That helped it out quite a bit. And right now, as I'm filming this, it is sitting at #3. And it featured over a dozen Popcorn Planet clips that were used without our permission. Now, the place that put it together, this would be Full 73, the production company behind the documentary, knew full well that they needed a license for the clips as they emailed asking for one. When permission wasn't given, they used the clips anyway. Now, that point is undeniable, by the way. I mean, you can see this in this letter right here. You can see them reaching out. They're trying to license different items they had written multiple times. They were not given permission. What do? They decide to use it anyway. Now, after that, they decide that they're going to take clips anyway. Part of that for Popcorn Planet was their exclusive interview with Johnny Depp. You know, the one that they got at a concert, they went, they talked to them, that actually it was something that was really affirming for people. Well, basically, you had Emma Cooper decide to take that, to use it without permission, and to imply something very negative about it. Quote, they even used our entire world exclusive interview with Johnny Depp, full screen, without edits or commentary. That's noted, by the way, because you're going to get into the argument of fair use for the finale of this series. They falsely imply that we are in nefarious cahoots with and paid by Team Depp, causing many issues to my brand and credibility. So they take something for you, they make this implication in the aftermath, basically saying, you're for sale. And it's amazing too, because that documentary, it didn't know where it was going. I mean, at one hand, Emma Cooper is implying things like that. On the other hand, she's trying to insult and denigrate the same people. Why? Because in the trial's aftermath, people wanted to see all of the documents, and they said, you paid for those. Those were damaging, if they knew they were going to be damaging, if they were in some kind of conspiracy with Depp, don't you think somebody would have warned you off? It doesn't make sense, does it? Continuing, Netflix and Channel 4 also declared themselves the copyright owners of our footage on YouTube. They're not the only ones that have done this before, by the way. You have these monolithic corporations. They pick on the little guys out there. You have the Warner Discoveries. They did that to myself. You have the Netflix, Channel 4. They do that to them. It's just absolutely crazy. Now, we are staunch defenders of creators making fair use comments on other content. This all felt like a clear abuse of the law. I'm still unclear as to whether Netflix and Channel 4 were aware of Fulwell 73's lack of proper licensing, and I hope they will be willing to right this creative cause. Now, that's part of it too. When you're talking about that, does Netflix actually know what went on? Does Channel 4 know what went on? Because if they don't, really, what you have here, they may make some kind of concession, but at the end of the day, even with concession, what's Emma Cooper's liability in all of this? I'm now retained counsel through RM Warner Law. They give the attorney's name as well. We are now moving forward to explore our legal options, which we will be doing in phases. Now, phase 1, they're talking about, that will require $10,000. Many of you asked how you can help. This campaign is your opportunity too. All funds raised here will go toward legal fees and expenses. If anything gets resolved before the amount raised is spent, these funds will be donated to charity. Obviously, we will not be able to update you on every step of our plan moving forward. Yeah, you can't give away the game while you're playing it for sure, but we will do our best to give you broad updates when we are able to. Thanks in advance for your support and consideration. Now, the funny thing about Emma Cooper being sued is that when she joined up with Team AH, with places like Rolling Stone, with Marlo Stern, she decided to give interviews. And those interviews, well, they're kind of fascinating. Why? Because you can see the attacks. You can see she is given the ability to go in to make clarification, but she doesn't. In fact, she does quite the opposite. She's asked by Marlo Stone, hey, I actually heard some criticism where people were saying that you were pro-Depp channels. You were showing them these places, by the way, they're odious and they're exploitative. I thought you were doing sunlight is the best disinfective approach. What was this? And she says, yeah, that's what we were doing. This is pretty much cut and dry. It is a hit piece here. It takes things without permission. It could get really ugly for them really quick. This will be entertaining to watch. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel, by the way? The links are in the description. Share this everywhere. And thank you.